In this video, I will demonstrate how to create a notebook using the OneNote application. I will be using the cloud-based version of OneNote at the office.com website. OneNote is a digital notebook that allows you to collect and organize information that you gather using a variety of different tools. The OneNote application is free to anyone that has a Microsoft account. Matter of fact, I just recorded a OneDrive tutorial recently, so I created a brand new OneDrive account, which gives me a free OneNote account as well. I'm going to go ahead and click the OneNote app, and you'll notice the very first time that you open OneNote, it goes through this process of getting your first notebook ready for you. And if it's the first time that you're opening OneNote, they'll give you this little tutorial here, and you could click Get My First Notebook. And here they have different templates for you, whether you're work, personal, or school. I'm going to go ahead and click Personal for this one. And these are some common things that you might do. So let's say you want to keep track of shopping lists, recipes. You might want to create to-do lists or keep track of home projects or even plan a trip. I would click Create Notebook, and it would automatically create sections and pages for me to complete my work. So when you first open OneNote, you have your title bar. This is considered the simplified ribbon. It doesn't show very many buttons. If you want to see the classic ribbon, what you would do is you would click View, and you would choose this button right here to uncheck simplified ribbon, and then click OK. And it takes a second, and now you're looking at the classic ribbon with a few more buttons available to you. Okay, over here to the left, you'll notice that the things that I checked off initially to do shopping lists, recipes, to-do lists, home projects, and so on are listed on this side. All of these are considered different sections, and I'm pointing at the New Section button right down here. The concept of a section is very similar to the concept of a folder when you're doing file management. It's basically a location that allows you to organize pages. A page is an area that you actually store all of your information. So for example, here, this section might be for just recipes. I would only have pages of recipes in this section. So it says recipe 1, recipe 2, but I can have hundreds of recipes over here. I could click page, and I would get a new page, and I could name the recipe, and then I can have the recipe information here. So this notebook has several sections, and each one of these sections can have several pages. And these pages are where we store the information that we're collecting or gathering. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close out of this notebook. This was just to introduce you to the graphical user interface a little bit. So now I'm going to show you how to create a notebook from scratch without using one of their templates. So I'm going to go ahead and click the OneNote app. You'll notice that any recently used notebooks would be listed right here. I'm going to go ahead and click New, and in this section, I'm going to name this EVCC Courses, and I'm going to create a notebook from a student perspective. This would be a typical student that might want to organize and collect all the information from the classes that they're completing. So I've typed in the name of the college, courses, and I'm going to click Create. So I'm looking at the title bar, I'm looking at the classic ribbon, and then over here is where I would need to determine what sections I want and then what pages I want within those sections. Let's say that I'm taking 3 classes this quarter and I want to have a section for each class. So I'm going to click Section, and I'm going to go ahead and type CL 110. For my next section, I'm going to click Section, and click OK, and one more section, and click OK. So now I've created these sections, so anything that I study in the CL 110 class, I could have a page for. So this particular class covers a lot of different topics, so I'm going to create a page for a few of those different topics. So I click page right here and you'll notice that the cursor blinks over here, and I'm going to call this one OneNote. If there was already something that said untitled page, you could click on that and then your cursor's over here and you could type in that name. My next page is going to be called OneDrive, and my next page is going to be called Forms, and the next page is going to be called Instructor YouTube. So I've set up my notebook, and now I could start entering information into this notebook. I could gather information online and paste it in here. So we're just going to go through a couple of the most common tools. I'm in the CL110 section. I'm going to click the OneNote page, and then I just take my mouse and I click wherever I want it to be, and that's where I can start to enter my information. Now, OneNote's unique in that you can click anywhere and a placeholder will appear for you to begin typing your text. So I've typed, OneNote is a digital notebook that allows you to collect and organize information using a variety of tools. Now you'll notice that it's within this little container here. So I could click on just the border of this container and I can resize the container. I can move this by positioning my mouse right at the top of the container and just dragging and dropping it where I want it to be. I'm going to click right underneath that, which will give me a new container. So I have a new container here and I just want to create a bulleted list. So I'm going to click the bullet button and I'm going to go ahead and type a couple of items here. I can click right next to that container to get a new container. And for this one, I'm going to do a numbered list. Now we're going to just work on some basic formatting. I can click on the container to select the contents, and then I can click B for bold, italic, underline. You'll notice anything within the container automatically takes on that format. I could use the highlighter pen, do this color. I can change my font color. So those are a lot of the different things that you can do. If you don't want to change everything within the container, you could simply go inside the container and select the text that you want to change. I actually don't like all this formatting on here, so I'm going to select that and choose this clear formatting button. As you can see, if you have experience using Microsoft Word, all of these features work very similarly. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select this bulleted list here, and I'm going to click the decrease indent button, and you'll see that that decreased the indent. And on this one, I'm going to select my list and choose the increase indent button. And on this one, I'm going to go ahead and go into my alignment buttons and choose center. So you could see all of those features are very similar. You have your different styles that are listed right up here. If I can go into my styles, that's what heading 1 would look like, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4, and I can resize the container if need be. At any point, I could move these around to reorganize them. If you have a container that you no longer want, you can easily delete it. I'm going to create a container and type within it and then delete it. You click on the title bar of it and just press delete. So what's really cool about OneNote is your ability to gather all kinds of information and store it in one area. For example, if you're a student taking a class on OneNote, you're more than likely going to receive handouts. You can attach those handouts in here as a file and you can refer back to them at any time. You would go to Insert, File Attachment, and you would navigate to where the file is stored. If I ever want to open this file, I simply double click on it, I download it, and then open it. Pretty simple. You can also insert pictures. I'm going to click outside this container. You'll notice here, this is how you would insert a picture from your computer's local disk, or you could search for pictures online. I'm going to go ahead and type in OneNote, and it finds the OneNote icon. This one looks a little bit nicer. I'll click on it and then click Insert, and there's my picture. I can click on the picture and resize it, just like you can in other programs, but it is within this container. I'm going to click outside this container over here, and you'll notice on the Insert tab there's a Record Audio. If you click this button, you can record your voice and save the audio on your page. I'm going to stay in the CL110 section, but I'm going to switch to a new page. I'm going to click on that page, and now I want to insert a table. So you'll notice the Insert Table button right here, and you can just click and drag over how many rows and how many columns you want. So this would be a 2x3 table, and you can see that the columns are pretty small, but you can resize. You see how I just position my mouse on the border, and I can resize those columns. When you're ready to begin typing, you would just click your cursor into the first cell, and you would be able to type. Notice if you run out of rows, you can click in the very last cell and then press Tab and you get a new row. You may have noticed that as soon as I inserted the table, Word provided this contextual tab here, Table Tools Layout, that if I click on it, I have a lot of my features that allow me to insert new rows, insert new columns, to be able to delete a row. So for example, if I click here, I can choose Insert Right. If I decide that I don't want this column, I could choose Delete Column. If I want to center the text, I could click Center, and you see that there is some shading options that you can use to fill in the color. Now I'm going to show you how to gather information from the internet and paste it into OneNote. So I'm going to click this tab here, the Instructor YouTube, and then I'm going to get a new tab up here in my internet browser, and I'm going to go ahead and type in YouTube, and I will do a search for my channel and click on my name. So I've navigated to this channel, and I want to save this website so that I can refer back to these videos after my class is over. I'm going to go ahead and click up here in the web address. I'm going to select Control-C on my keyboard. I'm going to go back into OneNote, click where I want the web address to be pasted, and then I'm going to choose Control-V to paste it in there. And so now anytime you click on that link, it should open up directly to the channel. You can also capture print screens of information and collect it and put it into OneNote. That's one thing that I like about OneNote, is that I can go anywhere on the internet and I could capture a print screen, bring it back to OneNote, and kind of collect information that I might want to refer back to later. So here at this website, I'm going to go ahead and push the print screen button, which takes a picture of what is on the screen. Then I'm going to go back to OneNote. I'm going to click underneath the link, and then I'm going to paste in the picture, Control-V. And now you can see this is a picture of the YouTube website showing this channel. If you have a specific video that you want to remember to go back to, you can search for that video. You would click Videos, and then you would click on the search, and let's say it was a video on forms. Here is the video on how to create a form in the Microsoft Office app. I'm going to click on this video, and then I'm going to click up here in the web address, and I'm going to copy this, Control-C, go back to my OneNote, and I can do this a couple of different ways. If I do a Control-V and I paste the video, it's automatically going to show a link to the video, and then anytime you click this link, it's going to play the video. As you can see here, it's playing right within this window. The other option is just to create a link to the site, to this particular video. So what I would do in that situation is choose Insert, Link. I would paste in the web address, Control-V, and then here for the display text, I would type Forms Tutorial and then Insert. So now I have a link to the video. If I click on the link, it opens up in the YouTube window. Similarly, you'd be able to go to a playlist, open the playlist, and you would be able to, I'm going to go ahead and click this part right here, and then this is the actual playlist, and so you'd be able to create a link to that playlist as well. I'm going to go ahead and click my favorite playlist and then paste in the link. You'll notice that I've instructed you to press Control-V when you want to paste. That is because the paste button doesn't work in the online app. It will tell you to use the keyboard command. So in order to paste anything, you have to do the Control V. Another great feature of OneNote is your ability to share and collaborate. If you want to share this with somebody else, you would simply click the share button. In this section right here, make sure it says anyone with the link can edit. Choose allow editing, apply it, and then you would type in the person's email address and you could type a message to them and then click send. Alternatively, you could click copy link. You would then select copy. Then you would open up your email account. You would paste in the link and send it off, and that would allow you to share and collaborate with others. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed the content, please click like and subscribe to my channel.